Welcome, you lovely lot, to Cowland on Cars, and as you can see, I'm in my second home, Manor Park Classics, here in Runcorn in Cheshire, where you can also see I'm surrounded by a plethora of beautiful classic cars and actually motorcycles. You may know I don't know much about motorcycles, that's very much Steve Berry's thing, but if you want classic cars, I have just done a 3-hour walk around of literally every single car for sale in the building. It's quite a lot of cars to go through. So here for you, for your delectation and to make life a little bit quicker and easier, is my top 5 or so from Saturday the 24th of May. These are the cars with my money I would buy if it was me. Well, this one I think could be a bargain, it could be a rarity, it's a lot of things and you don't see very many of them. Now everybody knows that the obvious roadster choice, if you haven't got a huge amount of money to spend, is the Mazda MX-5. I might suggest, if I could be so bold, how about a Fiat Barchetta instead? This one is particularly nice for lots of reasons. One is the colour. I absolutely adore orange cars. My first car was an orange VW Beetle. This is clearly orange. It's very, very nice. It's also 145,000 miles with a good but not perfect history. And also, the paintwork, again, is decent. It presents very well on screen there. But when you get up close, you can see there's a lot of micro blistering. And also left-hand drive, for whatever reason, sometimes puts people off. A lot of people in this country, even though the Barchetta was only ever available as a left-hand drive, it really discourages people from owning them. Don't be put off by those. I think this could represent, particularly as a no-reserve car, something that contains a huge amount of enjoyment and entertainment in a car that nobody knows or ever sees or has. I just think it's got bargain written all over it. The thing is, even with the mileage, the interior particularly looks very, very good. The seatwear on the leather is almost non-existent, and you'll be able to do something with the paint. I think it will need at least a very substantial flat and mop to make it slightly better. And if you want to make it perfect, you are probably going to have to repaint it. And whether the value of the car at this point can justify that. But I don't know, but just look at it. It just looks right, doesn't it? It's got that X factor, that individual something that makes cars a lot of fun. And with no reserve and you get to set the price, I think that could be the bargain of the sale. And it's 1997, so you're now talking nearly 30 years old. A genuine classic, should cost pennies to insure, pennies to run. Most of the mechanical parts come from the Fiat parts bin, so relatively straightforward to get. It's brilliant. When was the last time you saw one? Right, if you're a regular fan of the channel, this will come as no surprise. You already know that I am a bit of a Jaguar fanboy. You already know I'm going through my middle-aged Jaguar period, and therefore it comes as no surprise at all to find I've gravitated to this rather lovely 1989 on the F XJRS. Why these were good is the first high-performance XJS done with TWR was called the Celebration Le Mans, or Le Mans Celebration, I can't remember, one of the two anyway. And it was to celebrate, literally, Jaguar winning Le Mans with Walkinshaw. They then stuck what I think is one of the greatest body kits ever onto an XJS. They did these wonderful Speedline bottle tops. They tweaked the handling a little bit, put some Bilsteins in, made the dashboard and interior a little bit sexier. And this was the result. Fantastic bumper kit, side skirts, rear spoiler. I always think they hang together really, really well. This particular one, I adore the colour. It's done 67,000 miles. There's some really good evidence of the restoration and the history and all the work that's gone into it. It sits really well. For what I guess is perhaps a lower cost restoration, and when I say lower cost, I mean less than 50 or 60,000 pounds. The paintwork is exceptionally good. The leather colonisation is really nice. And the whole history and condition of the car just screams like it's been done very, very well. I have to say, mileage is right, colour's right. 10 to 12,000 pounds, I think you take that home. And I just think it just looks magnificent. And also, Chris Harris has just bought an XJS. So if XJSs aren't about to be the next coolest thing ever, I don't know what is. Now, this next pick is very dear to my heart because I have a 68 Bentley T1. This, I would wager, is slightly better condition than mine, and also definitely has less filler in the arches. This is beautiful, 1967 Shadow 1. I've always loved the Rolls-Royce Shadow. Shadow 2, tiny bit Operation Nutri spec, and I do have one of those as well. But Shadow 1, purer bumper line, nicer looking headlights, I think is the one. The Shadow 2 drives better, the Shadow 1 looks better, and this one looks absolutely fabulous. And why I think this is a great buy is because you can get a lot of cars in the 6 or 7 grand space which are okay and they look all right, and you can kind of fix them as they go. This one has had a huge amount of money, spent £16,000 worth of paintwork, carpets, leatherwork, wood restoration. They've gone through, and somebody has cared and loved for this car. It's also had a very easy life on Jersey and Guernsey as well, and it kind of shows. And in this marketplace, it's really interesting because you can buy a 6 or 7 grand car, as I've done, and I'll probably have to spend another £15,000 on it to make it nice. Or you could buy a really nice car for 12 grand and have to spend very little on it. And obviously mathematics says if you can afford the higher price in the first instance, this is probably a better place to start. And this one will be 10 or 12,000 pounds for all of that work, probably a 6 grand base car with 16 grand's worth of work on. To my man maths, this car makes a great deal of sense, and it's absolutely beautiful in terms of the specification, the colour, the work that's been done, and potentially the price you'll pay. That is my luxury pick, and I would love to own this. Right, it's a sunny day. I've got to give you a convertible, haven't I? How about this 2003 Alpina B3 convertible? For those that the E46 M3 is just too common. Don't get me wrong, I love an E46 M3. I love the chunky arches. I love how they sit. But because the Alpina is just a little bit rarer, a little bit more exclusive, a little bit more hand finished, for that reason, I think if I was going to buy one, I think this would be the one that I would buy. I like this one very much for lots of reasons. 100,000 miles on this with 21 stamps in the book as well. So it's been looked after, but the mileage is high enough that you feel like you could use it. I love the colour, it's titan silver. It's got a very nice interior as well. And the vendor prepping it for sale has done wheel refurb, has done brand new set of unioils. There's a lot to love here. Reset of decals as well. These mirrors, which are slightly questionable, carbon print. There is a genuine set of original mirrors in the boot, so you can swap those back, or you could paint those silver. That would look all right. And also as well, factory hardtop. So what's not to love? Plenty of performance, the exclusivity of Alpina, all of those bits, the best colour with a new sticker set. And what's that going to be? I don't know, that could be about 10 or 12,000 pounds. You could buy that and have that in your collection. I'd like it. Now, as you may know, it's a legal requirement. If there is a Saab in the sale, I have to put it in the top 5. It's just how it is. And the 96 V4 is a car that's very precious to me. My dad had a really cool orange 96 V4 when I was growing up as a kid. I drove that a few times, and it was part of the thing that bonded my love for Saabs. I have a 2-stroke, which is magnificent, but for every day, for chugging around as a more usable, practical classic, the V4, I think, probably takes it. What is nice about this one, you get the later Ford V4 engine, which is very usable, a very tractable thing, but you also get the earlier chrome bumpers, the prettier grille, all that kind of stuff. And this one also had a lot of money spent. So it had a big recommissioning last year, so a lot of engine work, brake work, quite a few thousand spent to get it up to this. It's had an older respray to a very high standard in this Werther's original, couldn't be more period colour. The interior is really nice. It's been really well loved, and I think probably if you totted all the bills up to get one to this standard, I bet you'd be 15, 16, maybe even 17 grand to build a car that's this nice. This one is estimated at 5 to 6. And the more you look at it, the cleaner it is, the nicer it is. I do think that represents something of a bargain. And were I not skint myself, I would be having a cheeky bid on this month. Just look at it. Look at the seats. Look at the dash. Look at the interior. And if you've never driven one with that funky little column shift and the flat floor with all the room, they are amazing. And that's before you start to factor in the whole Eric Carlson factor. And this is the car that made Saab famous. Everybody needs a 96 in their life at some point. And I would say if you're going to start with that one. And price-wise, as I say, £5,000 or £6,000, your fees on top. Fantastic starter classic. And my final pick is this. This is a Cortina 3-litre S evocation. And I promise to bring you the cars in these little walkarounds that I would buy myself with my own money. And in a heartbeat, I would buy this with my own money. Because look at it. It's got all the things you would want. Started life as a South African import, 3-litre. Bought by an absolutely brilliant guy called Les, who I'd very much like to meet, who then embarked on a journey of transformation to create what you see here. So it was a 3-litre automatic in South Africa. It's now a 3-litre manual with a tuned Essex in it and all sorts of saucy bits. It's got the perfect suspension drop. It's got that epic front and rear spoiler combination as well. It's got the RS 7-spoke soft lines. It's got a very kind of right for the time period Cobra interior. It just hangs together. Not only do I think it's a great idea for a car in its own right, but also the way it's been executed and just every little detail about it is very much flicking my switch. I'd like to own this a lot. I think it's going to be quite leery and quite rude. I haven't heard it run. I would like to hear it run. I would imagine it makes all sorts of wonderful noises. And how can you not love a fast forward? And how can you not love a Cortina? What is not to love? And the best bit is the price. The price is just £8,500 to £9,500. But there you go. That is my walk around with an extra bonus car, as has now become customary. Hope you found something you like. Don't forget, register to bid, either in person if you want to come to the sale yourself, come and say hello, I will be there all day, or go online to manorparkclassics.com and let me know in the comments which one was your favourite, and let me know if I should do more than 5. Should I do 10, or is 5 just right with the bonus one? You tell me. It's your channel. Anyway, see you next time. Thanks for watching.